Buenos dias! This video is for you if you wanna amplify your feminine energy and really activate again all these traits that we have as women that nourish us and empower us, and they can really shift your life. And one of the first things that might sound very simple is to reconnect with nature. Why is that? Because for us, what we call nature is Mother Nature. And she is really this embodiment of the feminine, energy that creates life, that sustains life. And it is a tremendously healing and strengthening energy. And I noticed a shift in my own energy when I started the very simple thing of implementing again in my life some walks, sitting outside in a park, in your garden, or just going to the forest, this kind of almost like finding peace in walking or in sitting and breathing, and then looking at the green of the nature. Or maybe you're near the ocean, near rivers, there's some blue, you see the clouds, and breathing that fresh air. That really cleanses our system. If you speak of energies, it almost clears chakras, it aligns us, and it also connects us with Mother Earth, with her feminine energy, and pours that back into us. So that is something you can do immediately today, or just barefoot walking a bit on the grass. Doing that regularly in your life can make such a big difference. And I'm looking at my notes because I came prepared. The other thing is that we all have feminine and masculine energy. And there are just certain traits, activities, and things that you would call more masculine. For example, if you plan things, if you manage things, if you want to strategize, control things, that has a more masculine energy. And we can do that as women. But then what is, for example, a more feminine energy is creativity. And often we're so lost in our everyday world that we don't allow ourselves to have again some moments of flowy creativity where we're just connected with our phones, we're scrolling, and we're just relaxing, but we're not creative in those moments. Yeah, we're a bit in standby. But creativity is something that really brings this feminine energy out of us, because maybe you want to dance, maybe you want to paint, you want to sing. Journaling for me has made a huge impact on how I feel, and also how aware I became of my thoughts. So connecting with this creative power that you have, because we birth life, right? We have the ability to birth life. But what can you birth through your creativity? Asking yourself something that makes you happy, that unwinds you, that just allows you to forget a bit of time and get lost in that activity. And maybe you're knitting, maybe you're creating some beautiful art projects, even with plants. That can be a creative project. So really find again a hobby or something that you do regularly that allows your creativity to flow, and you're not in this mindset where you constantly have to plan and control things. The other one is that I noticed as a woman there were times in my life where I felt very disconnected from my body, and I think it came from myself comparing myself with other women. And with social media nowadays, I'm basically comparing myself to the entire world. And also these norms in every society of how as a woman you're supposed to look, how your skin is supposed to be, what height, what body proportions, how the hairstyles are, right? There's a lot of this where you look suddenly at yourself as assets and things that you have to again control, shape, and manage. Which on one side is beautiful to have a beauty routine, and I also like that sometimes to unwind. But the body is part of us, and the body holds so much emotion and wisdom that if we disconnect, it really creates dissonance. It creates sometimes even illness. And coming back to your body, for example, through breath work can be a very powerful modality to connect again with yourself. Also connecting with your heart, with your emotion. That's the center of your emotion. Checking in frequently throughout the day. How do you feel? How does your heart feel? And feeling into what are body parts that you might still be rejecting and why is that, and inviting in a bit more nurturing connection with those body parts. That is something that when a woman embraces her body, when a woman comes back into her own temple and sees her body as this sacred temple, that is something that shines. And that even I as another woman, I notice that. I see when another woman, no matter what her shape is, she embraces herself and she carries herself with love and with then a natural confidence that comes out of her that makes her so radiant. And we often feel like we have to prove ourselves and we want to leave an impact on people by what we say, what we do. It's a lot about like, what can I bring forth so other people will recognize me? But I believe what feminine energy in the essence is for me is being present, and it is something that people can feel and they will remember your energy the more you activate it and you are able to bring that outward into the world. And there you can really take advantage of the body is here, just be present. Yeah, like touch yourself. Dance movements are like amazing to connect with your body, and the breath that I already mentioned, those can be things that you can do every single day, maybe just a couple of minutes to come back to yourself. This is your home. You should feel happy and at peace in your own body. And then last but not least is letting go of control, surrendering, and trust. Because the masculine is an energy that wants to control, that wants to plan, that wants to really prepare. And controlling an outcome means that we can also face a lot of disappointments when this outcome doesn't happen. But the feminine energy is really allowing yourself to not control every aspect of your life, but actually trusting this inner strength, right? Because inside, as a woman, you have a strength that will always carry you through anything. And I think no matter where you're at in your life right now, if you look back and assess what you've lived through, what experiences have taught you, you learned that you can weather the storms. So that inner strength is always there for you to tap in. But allow this inner strength for you to create a trust, not only in yourself, but into the outcome. Allow yourself to embrace uncertainty, even though it might feel a bit uncomfortable. Because if you lean more through this like attachment to outcomes, it creates anxiety. And I loved one time, I saw this in a video, I don't remember who it was, but she said, if you attach, you close your fist, right? And then nothing can be given to you. But if you surrender and you let go and you open your hand, things can come in. And that was so powerful for me. And I was like, yeah, let's create space, let's surrender. Because the more we surrender and we allow the room to expand, the more new things can come in. And you will notice when you practice to let go, to let flow, how much more opportunities will come in, how much more unexpected gifts will appear in your life. So try to create a bit of this like reoccurring connection with, hey, today I'm just gonna surrender. Let's see what the day brings, and be excited for this. Don't be dreadful. Don't be like anxious about the outcome. Have trust. And this is also immediately when you start amplifying this inner trust, people will feel that. Men will feel that because it gives you a different energy and radiance in the world. And I would really wish for you that these points will help you to create some new practices in your life and just to amplify that glow, that inner soul light that you have. Oh, and if you like this video, then please like and subscribe. I would love to have you here.